What's happening, everybody? We're back for another episode of Too Much Fantasy Football. Brian and Brennen here to knock out another collaborative draft, and we needed help. We always do. We can't do this alone, and we're going to raise the stakes here. It's chaos times chaos here. We got Andrew Cooper in the house. We got Chuck Bass in the house. Fellas, how are y'all doing today?
Go ahead, Chuck. You start. No. You pointed
No,
it
I want
way,
it same time. Same time.
Now you go.
Miserable. This is one of the
I'm
worst
doing great.
days of my life.
Thank you for having us here. Just very excited for this very collaborative draft. As I know on this show, it's always highly collaborative, and everyone agrees at the end of the day, and the list ends up being perfect. So I'm excited for that. Go ahead, Chuck.
Take your shirt off next time.
Oh, we don't do that till we get to picks 5.
We popping tarps.
But yeah, folks, we got another collaborative draft. Here, it's our fun way of building that top 13 list of whatever category. Today, it's receiving rooms. We're doing best rooms of not only wide receivers, but tight ends too, because we got the tight end king in the house. So, of course, we got to show them a little love. We're going to be building that list top or bottom to top, working our way all the way collaboratively. Collaboratively, guys. We got that, right? Yeah.
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe. We will see. Let's go ahead and get this draft board popped up here so we can see what we're working with. So we spun the wheel before this show. I'm going to go ahead and pick the top. Folks, you've seen these drafts before, and I screw them up left and right, and I'm always at the bottom. So we're going to mix things up a little bit. We're going to see if I can keep this contained. And I'm going to be drafter number 1. I guess before we do that, I'll let everybody listening know if you're drafter 1, you get picks 1, 5, 9, and that's it. If you are drafter B, you get picks 2, 6, 10, and that's it. And drafter C, you get 3, 7, and 11. And then drafter D, you get 4, 8, 12, and you get an extra one. You get number 13 down there because you are picking so low. Of course, we do have draft powers in this bad boy as well. We've got vetoes. We got veto overrides. So drafter A gets 1 veto. Drafter B gets 2 vetoes. Drafter C gets a veto and a veto override, and then drafter 4 will get just the 1 veto. So next up, we got Coop. What draft slot you picking?
Let's see. It's interesting because I either want the 2 picks or the 2 vetoes. Obviously, I'm not going to sit in the back with drafter 3. Drafter 3 kind of getting smoked here, really. Give me drafter 4. I'll take that burden on.
Nice, Chuck. Where are you finding yourself sitting here?
I'll take the one that gets smoked. Give me 3.
Ooh, not taking 2. Wow. Look at you, Chuck.
I want less power.
Shying away from confrontation. That's such an NFL logo hat move.
I was way too in control of the board last time we did this, and it resulted in some status lowering for myself. So I need to be reined in.
When I did this last time, I did it was movies, and I left the show fuming. The kid JJ came on and just absolutely just rug pulled everything. I forget how it ended up, but like we did 90s comedies, and like I don't even know what it was. Like Dumb and Dumber didn't make the list or something. It was just insane. So
yeah, it got a little wild. It definitely got wild.
It got too wild, dude. Too much gamesmanship. I'm hoping that we can all collaborate together and be best friends.
Fingers crossed.
I love it.
Fingers crossed. Well, let's go ahead and get this bad boy started off. Like I said, we're starting at the bottom, starting with pick number 13. We're working our way to the top. Coop, you got back-to-back picks here. So, I guess actually, let's hit a pause on this real quick. Before we hit record, we started talking about this, but Chuck, let's get your input here. As Mike Vrabel and Diana want to make sure we know, there is a possible trade coming out here in 3-ish weeks. So, in doing this list, did you have A.J. Brown on the Eagles, or did you put him elsewhere?
I have. If he's already shopping for condos and he's meeting with condo owners in Boston, I'm penciling him in here. He's been off this team for a while now, and he's just the perfect Patriot. There's right from Diggs, right to A.J. Brown. Couldn't miss a beat.
Ooh, okay. So he's shopping for condos. So we put him on the Patriots then.
Yeah, he was seen meeting with a condo manager yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots are pretty low on my list without A.J. Brown, I'm not going to lie. When you look at just Romeo Doubs, overpaying Romeo Doubs, and this is my favorite team, so I can say that. Overpaying Romeo Doubs, and then you have like 31-year-old Hunter Henry and tiny little baby Demario Douglas. Like kind of a tough set without AJ Brown, but with AJ Brown, respectable.
Brennan, what are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I had him off my list already just because, like, I'm on the assumption that, like, if I had to put a gun to my head, like, I think he's going to be elsewhere. Do I know where? No, but I just do know. I don't think he'll be with the Eagles after June 1st.
Well, that moves him down a tier to the Eagles. So I'm cool with throwing AJ on the Patriots for this exercise. If I mean, condos be damned. We knew Aaron Rodgers was shopping in Tennessee just a few years ago. So I mean, this is the telltale sign right here.
I mean, he could just be looking for investment properties. I mean, I know that's Boston's got that hot market right now.
Nobody wants to go to Boston. They've got like the Patriots, the Celtics, the Bruins.
Oh, easy now.
Say, what's it's a tough look.
Colts fan. I'm allowed to be a hater. It's okay.
Yeah.
Ruined childhood.
Also, dude, super underrated city, Providence. Give a quick shout out to PVD, dude, and the boys.
You drive too fast, you're gonna miss the whole state.
That's true. Yeah, you cannot drive too fast through Providence, though. They've set it up in a way that's impossible.
All right, so we're moving AJ. Looks like to the Patriots. So with that being said, then Coop, start us off. What's that first pick we're doing?
You know, actually, the more I look at this, I feel pretty comfortable that AJ Brown to the Patriots puts them in that realm where they can be 13. So I think it's a good way to get them on the list here. Patriots at 13 with AJ Brown, a very rich now Romeo Doubs, Hunter Henry, and then they have all sorts of field stretchers: Keyshawn Boutte, Matt Collins,
Kyle Williams.
Maybe Kyle Williams will come around. Demario Douglas can play some slot. You know, who knows? Maybe it's Stephon Diggs.
Give the casual viewer out there what, now that I'm looking at this, looks like. Do you have a spreadsheet? Do you have your rankings 1 through 32? What's the goods got?
What do I have?
What are you looking at right now?
Just looking at the four of you guys and going off the top of my head.
That's hot. That's why this guy's the big guy.
Maybe this is why you were fuming when you left the movie draft there?
I took a good look. I took a good look, and I've got a good idea of some tiers where guys need to be and need to live. And I was a little concerned that I think the Patriots do belong on here, but nowhere near the top, even with AJ Brown. He's a very good player, but some people are bullish on Romeo Doubs. What's you guys take on him, on Romeo Doubs? Like if you look at his ADP, he's going like wide receiver 45 in early drafts. So the world isn't super sold on him being a $70 million player.
I like when players are traded between what I think are typically good, smart offensive coordinators. So I feel like if he's coming from one system where I thought he was used all right, going to another one where I think he could be used all right, I think that says more about him than anybody else. And also, I mean, that's a big acquisition. It's not like they signed somebody off the street for scraps. That's even more than like your Joshua Palmers or your that range of guys.
Right. The Joshua Palmers, they all get the same deal, right? 3 years, $36 million. Like
the Darius Slayton.
Yeah. Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney. This year's was Jalen Naylor. Congratulations on being this year's Josh Palmer. So if you're above that 3 for 36 line, then you're doing all right.
The hard part with Dobbs is like he's great for the team. Is he great for my team? Is he great for my fantasy team? You know, and like Drake May's kind of turning out to be a little son of a bitch. We want him to be the king of kings when it comes to fantasy football, but no, he wants to be a good quarterback. He wants to share the ball. He wants to pass around the wealth a little bit. That's not good for me, buddy. That's not what I need. I need you to heavily target Dobbs or just kick him to the side.
Yeah, this exercise is also you got to get in the mindset of like forget about the quarterbacks entirely, right? Because like mentally, you got to say to yourself like, what would these players be without super mega star quarterbacks? So we'll forget about it. I do like the weapons enough that they're a top half team here.
Yeah.
Well, I get first option to veto. We go in order of the drafters A through D. I'm not going to veto Brennan. You got two of them.
No, I'm not going to veto. It'd be a tough thing to veto right off the rip. Like I don't like. It's like you said, the Patriots. Like you could say other names here, and I'd be like, yeah, sure. So it's one of those where I'm like, I'm not going to scoff at it. And we all agreed AJ Brown being there. I view him as a top 5 receiver still to this day. So I know other people like forgot about that, but I think he comes in and makes it much better.
Nice. Chuck, veto? No?
Nah. Great pick.
If you veto, you can. If they play, the team gets vetoed, you have the option to put them back on the list later. Correct?
Yes. A veto can reuse it. Whether you want to use the veto to kick them off the list or potentially use them up higher. Yeah, it can be used again.
I will say this in the. I know you guys didn't, but in the essence of trying to be fair and cooperative, if one of you guys did veto them, I would not have tried to put them back on the list.
That's
You
kind
know,
of
All
a
right, maybe
sweet-
I'll-
because I don't think they're good enough to be like 7. Like I think the
Yeah,
list
well-
looks bad if they're
Well,
7.
now
I
that
think
you've
the
said
list-
that, it might be good content. I'll hold off.
Well, you'll see.
Pick 12, Coop. You going back to back? What's our number 12 receiving
Yeah.
team?
Then a team with some solid weapons that I like, that I believe that they're probably equal weapons with the Patriots. That would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh, that's absolutely who I would have gone. That was my literally next on my list.
And I love Chris Godwin more than most folks. I think that the return back to the scheme that Zach Robinson runs is going to be good for him. But we're not really grading scheme and all these things. We're just talking about in a vacuum. And in a vacuum, excited about Emeka Egbuka. I like Chris Godwin a lot. They drafted Ted Hurst, who's going to be their ex-wide receiver, which should make life easy for everybody else. They got Kate Otten, who, as far as inline two-way tight ends go, rock solid. Like, we talk about fantasy football and all that, and it's not the ideal position, like setup for fantasy tight ends, but this is a good player. And this guy, I mean, Chuck, what does he play, like 90% of the snaps for you guys? That dude never comes off the field.
Way too many snaps, but there certainly are, for the 12th best offense in this rankings, enough to get the job done.
Right.
I think this is an interesting team as well, because if we do this exercise, I feel like this time next year, this potentially could be a top 8, top 6 receiving core. It's got a lot of young talent. I think that's kind of the reason I have them right here in the same range, the same tier that we're looking at right now. So I agree with it, but this one's volatile just in the fact that like we could see so much more from this receiving core.
Yeah, I think Coop really nailed it. How you view Chris Godwin is how you're going to view this core. There's like 6 guys who have at least 3 top 7 points per game seasons that aren't over 31 years old. And that's Jamar, Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, and it's Chris Godwin. Right. And that's as recently as 2024 when he was off to that ridiculous tear. So if you view him as a guy that can be a explosive asset on your fantasy rosters, then 12 might be too low for this team, but I understand why we would punt him here.
Yeah, Godwin finished wide receiver 2 in 2019. And then, as Chuck pointed out, wide receiver 2 in points per game in 2024. And that was with Liam Cohen, right? And Liam Cohen came from the Rams. He ran that scheme. And, you know, with the top wide receiver coming out of the slot, Zach Robinson was with Liam Cohen on the Rams as the pass game coordinator in 2023 when Cooper Kupp had the number 1 season all time in fantasy football. So they looked at 2024 and said, that was good. Let's do that again. Who else knows how to do that? Zach Robinson. Let's bring him in and we'll run the same thing. So I'm pretty bullish on God. I mean, Godwin's ADP right now is a wide receiver like 40 plus on every platform. So definitely a value there.
Mix in 84 targets for Kenneth Gainwell last year, and you got Rachaad White gone. I just think that this could be one of the 3 to 5 best passing offenses in the league this year.
Let's go Baker. Yeah, Brennan, is there a wide receiver you've drafted more than Chris Godwin so far this season?
No, he's super cheap. He's just I feel like I'm getting a wide receiver 1 at when he's going as wide receiver 42. Like that's his like ceiling for me, and I'll take that all day long in best ball. So
my highest exposure guy too. And the thing with I love the news that's coming out with Ted Hurst being the X receiver, because people forget that sometimes the X receiver is the part-time guy in certain schemes. We saw it with this exact team at a certain point with Rashad Perriman when Mike Evans was out. Like when you go to two tight end sets, you don't need a split end. So he's probably going to come out and it'll be Godwin and Egbuka. Like those guys are going to be just fine. So loving the Buccaneers here at 12, ahead of my Patriots. Chuck, just for you, buddy.
I love it. This is good friendship at its finest. And he also took the pick from me, which is like evil friendship. So it's a little bit of everything right now, but I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, we don't handle theft here on this show, but no veto for me. Brennan?
No veto for me at all.
Chuck, you liking it here?
Bring it.
Love it.
All right.
Well, let's get that first pick in for you, man. Number 11, before we get in the top 10, last team here. What you got for us?
We're looking at me?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with what I think is just a really well-rounded attack, and I'm going to go with the Packers, who I don't think have anybody that is trailblazing other than a healthy Tucker Kraft, but just a lot of solid dudes that I think when are healthy are on the field. And we're not taking injuries into any account today. We're just talking about like looking at this stack of paper and going, damn, they're rolling out Christian Watson. They're rolling out Jaden Reed. They've got Tucker Kraft. think they're Matthew Golden. I think is a guy who might have turned some heads later in the season. Think could have a bigger role this year. Just a lot of fun, and they got the team to do it.
Ooh, baby. I see, as a Christian Watson guy in a Jaden Reed dynasty stasher, hoping that he gets to the point where he can be an every down guy, which now that he's been paid, you hope he gets there. I've never been a huge Matthew Golden guy, but also big fan of Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
I am not going to veto this one. And I also, because I do have a spreadsheet over here. When I moved the Packers up and I moved down another team that I had higher, it makes me chuckle. So I'm not going to veto.
Good. Content tornado right now.
Yeah. Because that's the thing when teams. This is now that we've put the squeeze on. When we move teams up, you have to move meaningful teams out, and that gets a little scary.
It's tough because there's a lot of teams where I really like their depth, but I don't think that they're very top heavy. And this is one of them that you might be, if you're looking at just like their 2 starting wide receivers and maybe their best pass catching back, like a Falcons type team or a tight end, whatever you want, you might prefer the blue chippers. But I just think that this is a sum that's, what do they say? It's greater than the sum of their parts. And I just like everybody's role as well. Addition
by subtraction, getting rid of Dontavian Wicks too.
Wicks, Dobbs, is Bo Melton still playing quarterback? These guys out of my life. Now.
All right, Brian, you gonna veto this one, dog?
No. This was I'm pleasantly surprised. I had this in my tier 3 here. This was right the spot where I wanted him to go. Another love me some Christian Watson. Happy birthday today, buddy. At the time of this recording, it is his birthday. Loving that. I'm glad the Packers getting a little bit of love here. Stack on a little Savion Williams craziness on there for what he gives to this team. But I didn't think I thought I was going to be the one that picked him here. So I love it. No veto for me.
No, there's no veto for me either. I think they have like a collective group of like a bunch of wide receiver 2s, and like Tucker Kraft is a big carry of that, and I do need to get mentioned, so I won't veto it.
Nice.
All right.
Tucker Kraft was probably the best tight end in the league up prior to his injury, I would say. Maybe at least receiving wise.
Probably the closest we've seen in a long time to what George Kittle does.
His yard of the catch is elite right now.
Yeah, he had multiple 60-yard touchdowns, which pretty much only Kittle does. Like, nobody's doing that. Very few guys. There's only 3 guys in the league right now that have 3 or more plays of 40 yards in the same season. And that's Kittle, Pitts, and Chig Okonkwo. But Tucker Kraft probably would have been there if he didn't get banged up. Yeah, Chig on the list. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Is he also, just real quick, is he the only tight end whose situation got better this offseason if we don't take health into the equation? I mean, a lot of these guys, they're either stuck in neutral or there was maybe some more competition added, maybe quarterback loss. They got rid of multiple top targets.
Yeah, it got better for Kraft. It got better. I would say it got better for Chig. Chig Okonkwo got better.
Yep.
And, of course, I mean, we got to mention the team that I have ranked 32nd. The Miami Dolphins. Like, how is Greg Dulcich not at this moment? How is he not a winner? The thing with Dulcich, though, that I've been cautioning people is that the Dolphins on June 1st have like $20 million coming from Bradley Chubb being cut as a post Q1 cut. They could easily sign like Waller or Johnny Smith, and they probably will. But for another 15 days, 16, 17, I mean, we got 18 glory days here, folks. I think.
Ride the wave.
Absolutely.
Right?
Brennan, go ahead and open up this top 10. It's your first pick. Who do you have here?
I think funny enough, I think they're like more of like a wild card in this factor. I'm going to go with the Texans. Like New Collins being a solid one, Jaden Higgins being there, Jalen Noel, and everyone forgets about Tank Dell. And like Dalton Schultz is just like a middle of the pack tight end, whatever. He does just enough to be mentioned, but like I think they need to be brought on this list. And I didn't know where to put them really. I think they need to be there. Nico is just really underrated as a receiver. I get he's injured all the time, but like besides that, when he's on the field with Jaden Higgins, with Jalen Noel, and it could be Tank Dell instead of Jalen Noel. And we all forget about Tank Dell. He had a gruesome injury, but if he comes back, I think this is a very scary offense.
Doesn't wow you. Doesn't jump off the page, but it's hard to disagree with a lot of what you said. This is where the ranking is doing most of the heavy lifting for what we'll talk about in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, I think in this particular whether or not to veto this one really boils down to how much you like rookies, because the number of these other teams, for me to put them ahead of a team like the Texans, you have to make an argument that one of the rookies they picked this year is like going to be awesome. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whereas Jaden Higgins last year, quietly, he scored the third most points of any of the rookie wide receivers. It was
he had big splash plays. I mean, he looked good.
McMillan was 1, and then Egbuka was 2, and they were both first round picks. And then of the guys that didn't go in the first round of the actual draft, Jaden Higgins was 3, and then Luther Burden was 4. So I like Jaden Higgins. I'm a Jaden Higgins believer. I think Jalen Noel can pick up that Christian Kirk role now. Never been much of a Schultz guy, but he's there. He's there this year and next year. You know what he keeps doing, which is a genius move by him and his agent? Every time the team asks who can renegotiate and free up money, he raises his hand. And every time he does that, his next year becomes more and more difficult to cut. This year, he should have had a deal that was literally like they would have saved $11 million with $1 million in dead cap. But like 2 years ago, he got ahead of that and renegotiated and took a little less money, but like locked it all in. So
he's like the Kirk Cousins of tight ends.
Yeah, he's just that rock.
Moving from bag to bag,
making himself impossible. Just doing little team-friendly things that make himself very difficult to cut later on, which is smart. So we'll give him some points for that. I won't veto it. Brian has 2 vetoes. And if you have specific teams you want on the list, because there's a bunch of teams we have to have on the list above this team.
That's so Texans were my last tier. We've already started picking out of my tier above that. So that's my issue. I've got 10 teams, 11 teams that I would want to make in the top 9 outside of that. So I'm struggling. Do I use my veto here and make sure we get more of those teams? I just got the one. Brennan's got 2.
Brennan's got 2.
Yeah.
Brennan controlling all the cards with this Texans pick.
But we've done enough of these drafts. We've done enough of them that I know when you get that weird feeling, you're like, oh, we'll let it slip. I like them on here. Then all of a sudden you got 7 teams and only 5 slots left. That's what I'm afraid of here.
Puppet master.
Oh,
I'm not going to anger him myself.
I'm going to do
how much do you love? That's the thing. How much do you love some of these other teams?
But
who knows? I might not pick that same team on there.
Let's think about how good this clip could age if we leave it on here. And second year with this scheme and all of the pieces together, CJ Stroud bouncing back from a tough playoff loss. The line's a little better. David Montgomery's better than Woody Marks. This might be one of those offenses that just because they're 12th overall, it looks like they're 5th because of how far they've had to come.
What about the clip of all of us agreeing and then Brian vetoing it? And then like go back to like the top team in the league. I will say, I'm a CJ Stroud believer. I think that they should have just stuck with Bobby Slowick's offense in 2023. The same offense that the 49ers run, the same offense that the Seahawks just won the damn Super Bowl with. Like he was great when they used the fullback and the blocking tight ends and the 2 wide receiver sets. And then the GM traded for Stephon Diggs and they went to Slowick and said, change everything you know. And like he only ever coached for one other team, Shanahan, and they got rid of his fullback, Andrew Beck, gone, and just told him like, hey, figure out how to do this offense you've never done. And then everyone got hurt and then they fired him. And it's like ever since then they've been trying to figure out what they're supposed to be. They just stayed the course. And now every team is doing that with the multiple tight ends, right? And they're the one team still trying to push the 3 wide receivers. It's like if they had just stuck with it, they would have been much better off.
All right, I'm going to stick with it because I'm already saying I'm at least 2 teams that aren't going to make this list, so I'm going to use my veto a little later to affect some of these top teams. I'm going to hold it. Brennan, you're not vetoing yourself, I guess. Chuck, you keeping that in your pocket?
I think we could be looking at Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins as a top 10 wide receiver duo when the season's over, so I got no problem with it.
Keeping your power in your pants, I love it.
That's how you do a clip right there. Put what I just said in the clip too.
Coop, you keeping it too?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it.
Nice. Well, finally, I get to play. I get involved in this damn draft. Number 9.
Yeah, seriously, I already mailed them. Press it.
Listen, you assholes. No, I'm gonna I could put my team up here just so they're above y'all's 2 teams. I mean, our team here. Put a little Indianapolis action here.
I moved you guys to 14.
They barely made my list. They're in my bottom tier. No, I'm gonna go with It's a deep room. Deep room across both positions, wide receiver and tight end. Young team, not a lot of proven talent. But my goodness, the OC they're messing with this year, we're going to have some lightning. We're going to have some magic. And we moved it out of South Beach. We took it to the West Coast. Let's go with the Chargers, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. This is another team I was considering at 12. And I think that speaks to all the teams we've talked about so far.
Yeah, you got Ladd.
This is another team where how you view Quentin Johnston is going to determine how you feel about what this team can do drive to drive, let alone week to week.
Mm-hmm. No elite talent here over the top, but no, we've got now 2 tight ends, 2 capable tight ends there in the room. 4 wide receivers there that all could produce a little something here. Fantasy points might be spread out more than you want, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what McDaniel's going to do out here.
And that's the thing for this exercise is that for this particular exercise, you look at all the annoying fantasy teams that have too many mouths to feed, and like those are the teams that should be on the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like Trey Harris, but with this scheme, they brought in Alec Engold, they brought in Charlie Kohler. Like they might not even be able to get two wide receivers on the field for a lot of the snaps, let alone 3. And now they got Njoku and Gadsden. The floor for this team is so high; they got to be in the top 10.
I mean, McDaniels took off his shirt when they drafted Brennan Thompson, so like that should
he said he was going to, but I actually have yet to see a clip of him with the shirt off. For the record,
no nipples.
Did he take it off? Did you find a clip of him with the shirt off? Because I saw he said he would. Here's the thing. After the fact, we might have to put an asterisk next to them if McDaniels did not take his shirt off.
That's fair.
So the question I'll be looking for with this team is the target consolidation that McDaniels had in Miami because he had Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, or because he just likes to get his best guys the ball? And what do the best guys on the Chargers look like with Justin Herbert moving the ball, as opposed to what do the best guys on the Dolphins look like with Tua having to move the ball? And then I guess that beats around the bush of how much are we weighing who's calling the plays for this offense versus just what we think about these guys in May.
Well, I think a big part of the consolidation is that the guys physically aren't on the field. Like you look at the 49ers, right? It's like Kyle Juszczyk and Luke Farrell, or in the past, Charlie Warner. Those guys, one year, Kyle Juszczyk and Charlie Warner combined to play 700 snaps, and they got 25 targets between them. Like just out there eating.
I miss that, don't you?
They were getting it. It's coming back.
There's nothing better than somebody being on the field with my fantasy asset, and I just absolutely know that guy's not getting the ball. I miss those days. Now they have to get these guys. Now they have to get the 4th string tight end the ball. It's just frustrating.
To keep you honest, no, but not McDaniel. I mean, how many times did Julian Hill touch the football? Alec Engold. He packed his suitcase for Los Angeles. He stuffed Alec Engold in there and brought him along. So we're gonna get some of that fullback Charlie Kohler. Did you see the clip that came out today from Charlie Kohler?
Oh, it's been legendary.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible, bro. Jim Harbaugh he probably had to change his khakis when that dude said that. For those that missed it, this guy came out and he was like, yeah, catching touchdowns is cool, whatever. Here's what I like. You line up against the other team. You're winning. You need 3 yards to seal the game. My wife's watching, his wife's watching, and I just punch him in the face and we win. He didn't quite say it exactly like that, but it was pretty much that. And that's a Harbaugh guy.
Harbaugh's got no reason to starch those khakis this week. That's for sure.
When you see a clip like that, how excited can I get for Gadsden and Njoku when that guy is in his own solar system?
Well, so the thing with this scheme is those guys do play a lot, but the the tight ends, Jonnu Smith and Darren Waller last 2 years have run 70% of their routes from a wide receiver spot. It's the and then so everything was great for me until Njoku showed up. Now it's a mess. Now I don't know.
You look at that's a good call out. You look at 2024, they had 4 guys over 80 targets.
And then it falls way off, right? Because
right, really bad.
I think Julian Hill or Durham Smythe is probably 5th on the list, right? Like
it's hilarious. You actually had Malik Washington at 36, but then you do get into your Julian Hills. But I mean, that's another team where they did have like 6 guys that a smart play caller could use effectively, which I think the Chargers have, which is why I think this could be a good pick.
Yeah, you
Could.
all the pre-snap motion.
I got to distance myself from a few of these guys. Just a little bit of room between us.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Brian made a good pick here. Brennan, you got 2 vetoes, and it sounds like you want to keep both of them in that pockets. Huh? No veto here?
I don't hate this pick. Like, they're just so like deep at like every position. Like, it's just weird that like I might have to draft Ladd as my wide receiver 1 in fantasy. And I don't know how that makes me feel.
Yeah.
But I'll keep it.
Deep is definitely the lamest version of this exercise.
Yeah, but they are. If you took the best player, if you took the best player off of every position group, running back, wide receiver, and tight end, their next man up is probably still like the 17th best offense in this exercise.
Better than Dolphins, that's for sure.
Yeah.
True.
Kamani Vidal.
Dolphins are another
he paid for my Cold Stone with his performance in 2025.
Yeah. I'm not going to veto it.
Nice. All right. Well, Coop, you're back up on the board. You got pick number 8 here for us. Your 3rd pick of this draft. Where are you going?
This is where I kind of want to break the seal on a certain type of offense, which is the total opposite of your depth pick with the Chargers, which is like the teams that just have 2 nasty wide receivers, right? And when I look around at a lot of them, this one has the least weapons besides their 2 awesome wide receivers, which is why I think they need to go on the list, but they need to go towards the lower part, and that's the Bengals. Like the Bengals, you have to put them on the list because they have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and that fucking rules. Can we swear on this show? I forgot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that fucking rocks. So Bengals awesome. But then after those 2 players, man, it's like gross. You know what I mean? It's like they don't care. On 3rd downs, this team goes out and they put Drew Sample like in the backfield, like to just like block. Like not even like on the edge, but like in the middle of the backfield. Have you seen those plays where they're like, our line is so bad, we're just gonna put, and the line actually got a little better, but their line was so bad that they would just put him like behind the guard and just say, if somebody comes through here, you gotta stop them because we're just gonna wait and chuck it to the big guys downfield. But I feel like you gotta put this team on here, even though I don't like Gesicki. Drew Sample has been perhaps the least productive 2nd-round tight end of all time. And the wide receiver 3, like Yosivas, even when he gets a chance to play, he's just like, whatever, you know?
This was the hard. So I had 5 tiers, but I only went to tier 4. I had a tier 2, 2.5, and 3. There were several teams in my tier 2.5 that they don't have any depth, but the talent there at the top is so good. So like, yeah, this is right in that chunk of them. I got a couple of the teams that fall into this. Bengals have to make the list just with the top end talent they have. But unfortunately, yeah, it's a fall off here.
Casual fans would be very upset if they weren't on the list.
You wouldn't trade either one of these players for the best 3 assets of either of the teams we've named so far. I think like that's the orbit, that's the space that they command.
Which Packers players would you even take?
No, you would have to be like, if you were literally just doing fantasy, you'd be like Kraft, a future first. And would that even get you T. Higgins? I don't know. Right now, it's locked up for the next 3-4 years.
A very controllable contract where they can cut him at any moment.
Yeah, and that's how they built their team. They're like, these are the guys are so good that this is how we're going to do this. Like, and it's they are like Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell and the other guys, and they don't need anybody else in the cast to do anything else because the stars are going to bring people to butts in the seat.
They're a peacock. You just got to let them fly.
Peacock, yeah. that was a 1,300-pound tuna.
Oh,
a peacock and a 1,300-pound tuna. That's what you got, dude.
Well, you know
that's
what happens when you get a taste for tuna, you know.
Exactly. I mean, it's never worked, but maybe it will this year.
Well, I'm leaving it here, Brennan. You got 2 vetoes, man.
I do, and like it's like, do I really want to use a veto on this? Like, I had him a little bit higher, but it's like I had him at like 5. I just
you want to move him up?
Yeah, I like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase is the best receiver in NFL.
Who doesn't? So. But we're talking about the
room itself.
Thing is,
like,
the problem I run into, and the reason I put him here is that I think there are other teams that have a very similar setup that have additional ancillary pieces that are a little better than Mitchell Tinsley.
Is this the best? Is this the best top 2 in the league? Whether even if it's wide receiver and tight end, like, is there a better top 2?
Yes. So that's where I think it is, but I think there's a debate to be had.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't veto.
Okay. Yeah, they were the top of my tier 2.5, but it's not enough for me to want to veto. So yeah, I'm gonna let it ride as well. No touching it, Chuck?
I want to punish them a little bit for not investing in a third asset of any kind. Although in fantasy, I do like when it's just two guys. So,
and Zach Taylor's the worst, so I don't want to give him a top 5 spot anywhere.
Yeah, I hate their whole operation, to be honest.
That's true.
We have their eight.
Every time a player's up for a contract, you just hurt his feelings for like months and months, and until he either just takes your lowball deal or he leaves. Like Jesse Bates straight up said he was like, those guys are super mean, and that's why I left.
Running the Bengals is like the 7th most important thing in Duke Tobin's life. It is way down on the list.
What exactly does Duke Tobin do, right? Because he doesn't go to any of the combine stuff, but then he doesn't negotiate the contracts either. The Blackburns do. Like it's just like a very strange operation. I don't understand it. And I dislike
He predates 9/11 for running this organization. It's shocking every time I pull up his page. And he's only 55. That is insane. He's not like way older like Bill Polian was. Every time they cut to Bill Polian, it looks like he's about to die. He's 55 years old.
Dude, there's a bunch of those guys where you're like, how is this dude still employed? Like Mickey Loomis. How does Mickey Loomis still have a job? Why?
Because he's kicked he kicked his
just,
contract so far down that they can't get rid of him until 2040.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara is making so much money.
Duke Tobin was the GM of the Bengals at 33 years old and has been riding it ever since. That's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
I mean, it took them 2 decades to get rid of Marvin Lewis, so like it makes sense that they're not going to get rid of him anytime soon.
I love that agent was like, I've never spoken to Duke Tobin. He's like, I don't know what he does. He's like,
we talked about Coop. I think you and I talked about this. His dad was the who the hell is Mel Kiper from the Colts? That's the same.
Oh,
family.
really?
Yeah,
oh my god, that's an all-time great clip. So good, dude. Who the hell is Mel Kiper?
So I want Chuck, you're about to open us up to pick number 7. But I want to throw this out there. Our historian, our producer's taking a break because we've never had one. But if we had one and he was a historian and could keep track of this, I don't think we've ever made it through 6 picks without a veto across all my shows, whether it be the movie podcast or the fantasy football podcast. Like, this is some legendary stuff. This is collaboration at its finest, folks. Just saying.
I started off the draft with straight up appeasement, which they say you should never do. But throwing
and then
your bucks on that.
Then you buttered me up with the Buccaneers pick, so you got me on your side pretty early.
Yeah. So we'll see, dude. Now it could be a powder keg growing here with the vetoes down the stretch.
Hey, there's something growing, that's for sure. Chuck, what you got for us?
Just fast. If you rewind the clock to a year ago, not even a year ago, if you rewind the clock to like 8 months ago, I would have never thought that I would consider putting this team in the top 7. But then you go out and spend the 3rd overall pick on Jeremiah Love, put him in there with one of the top tight end seasons we've ever seen from Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., supremely talented, Michael Wilson finally breaking out. You even got some Tyler Algier in the backfield, Elijah Higgins, which I know is a Coop favorite. Give me the Arizona Cardinals and then hit me with your veto, and we'll move on to the next pick.
Well, here's the thing: are we allowed to? We're not counting running backs in this, are we?
Yeah, running backs shouldn't be a part of it. It's just
wide
receiver
receiver,
tight
That's
end.
right. Well, he's going to line up that wide.
Now,
So receiver.
I'm not going to veto it. He is going to line up a wide receiver bunch, but I'm not going to veto it because I do have the Cardinals in this group. I like Marvin Harrison. Trey McBride's awesome. I like Marvin Harrison Jr. more than most people. But here's the thing: even the Marvin Harrison Jr. haters have found someone to like in Michael Wilson. That's the thing. I'm Marv over Michael Wilson, but however it breaks, like I think you're gonna at minimum have 2 high-end guys. And as Chuck pointed out, I mean, if anything happens to Trey McBride, Elijah Higgins, one of the most powerful handcuffs in all of tight end premium. I just want people to jot that down. I don't know why the Cardinals draft, they insist on having every pass catcher that ever went to Stanford, but that's their strategy, and I'm here for it.
It's crazy. Cardinals are tied for the worst record, according to Vegas, going into this year. And yet we just did the same exercise with the running back rooms with Jake Seeley last week. Right. And Cardinals made the top 5, I believe top 3 in that list as well. So just crazy how this offense has so much firepower, and they are essentially going to be the 2025 Cowboys this year. No defense, all offense.
Their defense was so bad last year that Jacoby Brissett threw for 450 yards in a game, and they lost by 3 scores against the 49ers.
That's wild.
He also started that Seahawks game by fumbling the ball for touchdowns on consecutive drives. Like they kind of.
If you asked me on Sunday morning what the dream scenario could you concoct for a Cardinals offense, that would be included.
Right.
4 Jacoby Brissett turnovers in the first 16 minutes of game time, and then I can just sit back on my couch with my bourbon and my Athletico, so I don't feel like I'm just drinking half, and then just chill and pick my feet up and have a good time.
Did you invent that move? That's a genius move, bro.
It is pretty good, right? Yeah, I did it on accident, and then I actually meant to grab a real beer, but I'd already had a lot to drink, so I just grabbed an Athletico, and then I thought, wait, why am I not as drunk as I feel like I should be? And there's your answer.
Smart. The bourbon with the side fake beer. That's a legendary move. I mean, Jacoby Brissett has been such a bourbon with a side fake beer quarterback, right? Like I mean, it's easy to forget. People are like, "Oh yeah, it was fine with Jacoby Brissett." It was not fine. He went 1-11. Like, how often does a 32-year-old quarterback go 1-11? And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna roll that guy out again."
But he deserves a pay raise.
And then won a contract extension.
What's the pay raise? Yeah, he was a pay raise. Awesome, dude.
Well, I'm happy to see you guys. I'm happy to see you guys on board. I mean, I just think it's such a Madden offense all the way through.
Well, I don't know. We got still have one person that has not weighed in, and he has 2 vetoes. So Brennen, are you gonna bring the hammer down?
They were 7, man. Like they were legitimately 7 on my list. So it'd be so weird just to veto, just to do it.
Just to do it. Someone's got to do one at some point. Although I don't know. We'll see how it pans out.
But no veto for me.
We're gonna let it ride going into pick 6. Then I've got 8.5 teams left, 6 spots, and nobody's used a veto. We're looking for pain here. We're looking for pain.
Yeah. The squeeze
Brennen,
is here.
Bring it to us, man. Last pick before we get into the top 5.
Yeah, like I was going through this and like, so they have the same set built. Like it's Seattle first off, so I'll start off with that. JSN I think is arguably
veto
in the game. Oh, veto off the rip.
let's let him do it.
Yeah.
I like JSN. Obviously, they re-signed. I'm drawing a blank now on the top of my head from what was it? Who was his name? Rashid Shaheed. Thank you.
Just drawing a blank on their second weapon when we're talking.
I know. AJ Garner, all the names. I just think they're so loaded, and JSN just obviously carries that team a bunch. But at the end of the day, like someone has to do that. I mean, we look at Jamar Chase in the same light. JSN's right there with them, like with the Pukas, Justins, like. So I think that's the reason why I have him at 6.
It's tough. It's tough because this is also an offense that did the least amount of featuring their entire receiving room last year of anybody with all the heavy sets. And I mean, for good reason. I mean, they were effective and they were deep. And they could do a lot at any given time, but who are there? If they hit you with a 3 wide receiver set, who are they rolling out in 2026?
Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed and JSN.
No, and little Torrey Horton maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Torrey Horton, I mean, like he does the same thing as Shaheed. So Shaheed coming back is just terrible news for Torrey Horton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would. If you had not vetoed it, I would.
Same.
I will say this, AJ Barner, and you know what it is? AJ Barner, he is probably one of the biggest sells for me in Dynasty because, like, coming into this, I didn't even think that people valued him until I said something on Reddit. And everyone got very upset. And when that happened, I realized that people do look at just, a guy finishing at tight end 13 and just take it at face value. I really think at the end of the day, this guy is going to play a role more like what Foster Moreau was for Clint Kubiak or what Charlie Kohler is supposed to be. I think they wanted Elijah Arroyo to be that guy. And I like Elijah Arroyo. That's points for this team, but he hasn't done anything yet. And it would be my list. I don't give a lot of credit to people that haven't done much. I also don't give a lot of credit to people who have done a lot, but are kind of on the very back end of their career, like Cooper Kupp. That's the problem. If we were going to allow like just name brand and legacy-ness to it, I think you could obviously be like Cooper Kupp has done an incredible amount, but right as it stands right now, I can't give him a lot of points.
It would be interesting to see what the fantasy impact is on guys who score touchdowns in the Super Bowl, especially guys that are like waffling between tiers, like AJ Barner's probably doing for some people. But yeah, just more of like a tight end 2 in best ball for me than Lynch Poll.
Yeah, the hard part with me, they're in that tier where it's the top heavy teams, and I think that there are at least 2 other teams that are better with top heavy rosters, and we still have full rosters that I want to get on here. So yeah, I like the veto here. We got it out of the way. We don't have to wait for it to sneak out on the final pick of the draft here. So Brennan, you get another pick. Look at that. Going back, who's your new number 6?
Oh, I'm gonna go just down the list. Like I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Go up.
Oh, it's true.
Go
Go
Bears.
up. But I'm gonna go with the Bears. Roma Dunze, Loveland, Luther Burden. I just think it's hard to ignore that Ben Johnson's calling the plays. I know it's like, but it's like, man, the offense was so much fun. Another year with this offense. It's hard to just ignore that.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Bears very high, even potentially higher.
Yeah. Like so, I think this team has the potential to be like one of the best offenses of the last 10 years if everything they built on last season is built upon again in 2026. Like that's how top heavy I think they are on all aspects of the passing game.
Yeah, and if the Texans are going to be on the list, the Bears definitely have to be on it because, like Roma Dunze is stepped down from Nico Collins, but Colston Loveland, major upgrade over Dalton Schultz, and Luther Burden, like at the very least, him and Jaden Higgins scored the same amount of points, and Luther Burden definitely has some explosiveness to him that you got to give him credit for. So I think this is actually a great spot for the Bears.
I would say also real quick, this is probably the team that I could see. I don't believe it will, but I could see them finishing as like the 21st best offense as well. Like I think that's how much variance they have and how much they're relying on guys that haven't done it for more than like 4 to 6 weeks. But I trust the vision, I trust the talent, trust the scheme, and just all of the guys that are in charge of pushing this in the right direction. I think it'll bear itself out.
Yeah, luck didn't fall their way. You know, they made the conference championship, and unlike the Patriots, they don't get another top 10 easy schedule in the season. So, you know, Bears are going to have to work a little harder this year, unlike those Boston teams.
Well, this has been a terrible month to be a Boston fan.
Loved it. I'm not going to lie. I've loved it.
You know what's so funny is that we were talking about it on the Sirius XM show, and Howard Bender's been rubbing it in my face, and I was like, well, at least the Providence Bruins are still in the Calder Cup. And literally 2 days later, they suffered like the worst ever defeat in terms of like a lower seed beating high, literally in the history of Calder Cup playoffs. Like this team was 40 points behind them when the playoffs came, and that team knocked them out of the playoffs. So it's like it's been brutal, dude. But we still got the New England Revolution.
But you guys literally cannot get away from it. Wasn't there just like some pops going off at Cambridge? Like,
yeah, dude.
Like it is
a dude that had literally done that in the past as well. Like he got out of jail and was like, time to go out and shoot people and like shoot a gun. So yeah, Boston, a little rough stretch here, but we've always been much more of a June state. So
I mean, they've had more explosive months than this one, so like I can understand where Boston's at it worse.
Exactly.
That was a good joke.
I'm gonna veto that joke.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon here.
Easy with those jokes. I'll veto that. Right, next one.
Alrighty, top 5. Here we go. I've got 2 of the top 5 picks. Yes, I haven't screwed up the bottom because my picks are all up here at the top. I've got 3 teams that are above these elite top heavy teams. So I'm going to throw out one of these last top heavy teams for me. I'm going to throw out the Rams. You've got Puka Nacua is playing lights out right now. You have Devontae Adams, who is just allergic to anywhere other than the end zone. Like the man finds touchdowns. And now you're talking about a tight end room that's like 7 deep, folks. We're killing it with second round tight ends down there in LA. I'm a big Ferguson guy. I still think I have hope for this season, despite them grabbing another second round tight end. But the Rams, all in all, it's a solid group you have there.
I too am a Terrence Ferguson guy. That's all I'll add.
I don't know how you could argue against it. This is where it gets tricky though, because like in my heart, I feel like they should be higher. But then when you kind of just look at it and look at like how flimsy is not the word that I think it would use, but they've got multiple guys who are prone to miss time. And that doesn't really factor into this exercise, but it forces you to look at the depth behind them. Should that be the case? That's where I don't feel so great about it, but that's in terms of like moving them up, not necessarily right here.
Don't look at that. They're banking on you not looking at that. And I think that's where all these tight ends, I truly think that it's like if Devontae Adams were to go down, it would just be a 1 wide receiver, 10 tight end offense.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Because what, Jordan Whittington is wide receiver 3?
Yeah, I think Whittington and then Mumfield.
Mumfield was all right. He's kind of fun.
So sounds like no vetoes across the board here.
No,
It's tough to do that because it's like you're gonna throw another name out there, and it's like, are they, upgrade over the Rams, or like, are you? Because we were moving Rams up more. I just it gets really tough. It gets finicky.
Rams got to go on the list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Alrighty. Coop, what's your last pick here? You got number 4. Got number 4. Final pick.
I think this one's going to be pretty easy to get onto the list. The way it stands is that if the Rams are on the list, given their setup, then the Cowboys got to be on the list as well, right? Like it's virtually the same setup. If you want to move them higher, if you want to use your veto to move them higher, go ahead. But I don't like Jake Ferguson. I don't think he's that good. I think he's very slow. He also, on 100 targets, he had 600 yards last year. But I really do like George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and Ryan Flournoy is kind of cool as a wide receiver 3. So I think that the Cowboys definitely have to be on the list. I'm going to put them here at 4. And if you want to move them up, it's going to cost you a veto because this is the lowest I could put them, and it's because of Jake Ferguson.
I literally have a dynasty team with Lamb, Pickens, Flournoy, Turbin, MVS, Tyler Johnson, and Jonathan Mingo. Like they just crushed the wire and the trade action. Like I am so in lockstep with how they built this team. It's frustrating.
Yikes. Yeah, I do agree they deserve to be on this list, but I've got 4 teams that I think should be above them. Like I think I would have had the Rams above the Cowboys.
I see is
Puka Nacua that much better than CeeDee Lamb?
No, not
I'd say he's better
opinion.
than him.
You would have to look at
who's better, who's better, George Pickens or Devontae Adams?
Adams.
Right.
Adams just
so then it's a island of misfit toys of tight ends versus Jake Ferguson. And even I would put Jake Ferguson ahead just because he's actually doing it versus his hypothetical idea that maybe Max Clare or Terrence Ferguson or one of these guys can do something.
Do we think that the weight of how good Lamb and Pickens are together hasn't caught up with like how the weight of Higgins and Chase have?
It's crazy to put Bengals on the list and not have the Cowboys on it.
I agree. I don't disagree with that statement at all, but I've got 4 teams
Brennen,
I think should
explain
be
your veto then of why you think that the Rams.
I just think they should be higher.
Higher.
Yeah,
okay.
I think they should be higher. I look at like, all right, so CeeDee Lamb, we can make the argument for going 101 if we really want to with this offense. True. George Pickens is right behind him. Like he has spike weeks, everything else like that. But again, like I think he's a great wide receiver 2. And you now have like what you can make Pickens as argument like top. Where do you stand? Like where is his ceiling for you as a wide receiver?
Also top 5. Wherever it says high as T. Higgins.
Yeah, so I view it as I think he's higher than T. Higgins. So that's why I think that's where I'm at with it. And Ryan Flournoy filled in phenomenally as like a wide receiver 2 and put up amazing points or amazing stats, I should say, so to speak, in speaking fantasy terms. But and then I know you don't like Jake Ferguson, but Jake Ferguson's just like a safe floor tight end, and he has spike weeks in him. I know it was a kind of a down year, but like I just think this team, the way it's built, it's top 3, and that's where I look at him at.
I literally have only one more team that I would put above any of the offenses we named. I have no idea how we're going to get 2 more after that. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out who you guys are putting on here.
Yeah, I'm really a little nervous.
Oh, so now it's my turn? again then. Because
Yeah,
you
you got a new team to put here at 4.
All right. Well, then I will put then I guess since the Cowboys aren't there, and my number one team I want to have at the very top, I will go with the Lions here then because they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, and Sam Laporta. And Isaac Tesla is what he is. Who knows what he's going to be? He can make a cool touchdown catch, but like, he's an Andre Yosivas-ish. But like, they have 3 high-end weapons, which nobody else really has. So for the Lions there, I had the Lions ahead of the Cowboys because I think that even though the Cowboys wide receivers are better, Sam Laporta is just light years better than what Jake Ferguson is.
They would have been, they would have been. That's the only other team.
Somebody's got to be 4. Somebody's got to be 4.
Somebody else.
Yeah, well then veto it. That's the thing. You got to veto it. If you want it.
I'm just sitting here looking at the team that I know is not going to make this list, and it's a little heartbreaking for me. But maybe that's just my love for the player, not the team. Yeah. Oh God.
I would have had them so number 1 with a bullet. It wouldn't have even. I don't even. There's such a gap between them and who I would even consider it number 2.
Well, Jamison Williams isn't that great. He's fine.
They're over. I love their whole squad, and I do think he's pretty good.
Sam Laporta is also he's fine too.
I've got Amon-Ra way up there in the top tier with the top guys. Williams in his role. I like Tesla a lot.
I think the thing about this team is that we love the scheme. It's the quarterback never runs, doesn't even do QB sneaks. Like you take these players and put them on a different team, I'm not sure they're like that special. Like if you put some of these guys in a vacuum against other guys, it's not like I think that in a vacuum, guys like Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb are just better wide receivers than Amon-Ra St. Brown. He just happens to be in like the perfect situation for what he does.
But I have to give him the nod of being utilized his maximum ability.
But for this, we're not considering quarterback or any of that at all.
No, but his role on this team, in this receiving room, is as defined as any receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's in the top. They're in the top 4.
They're in the top 4. Oh, God. I'm going to let it be. I do have them in my top 2, but I don't know if I want to veto just to move it up 2 more. So I'm going to let it ride. Brennan, you got one more?
Now we're playing the game.
I got to save it for Brian, so I'm going to hold.
Now we're playing the game, folks.
Damn it.
You wouldn't let me punish the Cowboys, so now the Lions get punished.
All righty. Chuck, you're up, man.
Pick 4 was a punishment for Jake Ferguson.
Jaguars.
Stole that from you.
Bam.
Got him. Knew it had to be. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, it's got to be the Jags is who they're thinking about. It's no way there's anybody else. I'm looking at all these depth charts. Not only does it make me sick to my stomach for how many offenses I'm going to have to be a part of, but just the team building on a lot of these are horrendous. Philadelphia, what are you doing? 49ers, what are you doing? Washington, what are you doing? There's so many teams that I should be able to select over the course of this exercise, not just with this pick, but I just can't because I hate them and they stink. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'll veto this one for sure. Jaguars, not in my top 3 at all. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., I hope that he can figure out how to play split end, but as of right now, not really doing it. Jacoby Myers, to me, just a guy. Parker Washington.
Just a guy.
Jacoby Myers as just a guy as
You're
it gets,
just
dude.
a guy.
Jacoby Myers just a guy. But has he ever had more than like 700 yards or whatever? He's fine.
You're not allowed to have over 700 yards in
bitter that he left the
or
Patriots
in Vegas.
I thought he was best on the Patriots. I mean, obviously, he didn't do well with the Raiders. I think he's fine. I think he's a fine player. Parker Washington. I mean, like if Travis Hunter actually did like play offense, and like last year, I was kind of excited when he finally got a chance. But now they're saying he's not even going to get a chance, or he's going to get a minimal chance. I mean, I don't know. This team doesn't really have stars. Like the depth, I guess, is fine. But like, I mean, we're giving Brian Thomas hypothetical credit. I have 3 teams that I easily have over this team.
Jacoby
so
Myers.
If you want to put him on the list, you can put him 1 or 2.
Jacoby
They've
Myers
got-
cleared 700 yards in every season except his rookie season.
Which is what? What does that mean? That's nothing.
Well, I was just saying that was your litmus point for the 700 yards.
If
I'm
you
just
can
saying.
do
like,
it
we lost
okay.
that.
Has he ever had?
do it on
He's
the
ever had? He
Patriots
hasn't
team.
never had like 900 yards. Like
He had 1,000 yards 2 seasons ago with Vegas.
Okay,
If you
Jacoby
get-
Myers is like as just a guy if it gets. You think that the Cowboys didn't deserve to be on the list when they have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and Jake Ferguson, and you put on Brian Thomas and Jacoby Myers and Brenton Strange? That's what you want on the list over CeeDee Lamb and Pickens.
700 yards in New England is like 1,400 yards in Jacksonville. 700 yards in Vegas is like 1,800 yards.
Well,
in
that's my argument against the Lions. Is that
And
yeah, put
they
Jacoby
have-
Myers on the put Jacoby Myers on the Lions. He'll have 1,500 yards.
But they have the most talented pass catcher that they took at the number 2 overall pick in
That's a cornerback.
2025. I'll get a coach speak index in here and back me up on this one. This is a
That's
team that they can roll out. They can roll out 4 guys that are top. They're all top 40 wide receivers in the league.
If we're playing the hypothetical game, high draft capital hypothetical game of things that we haven't seen yet, then we should put the Jets on here because they have Garrett Wilson and Kenyon Sadiq is a first round tight end and Omar Cooper is a first round player.
But I have
mean,
seen all 4 of these guys perform admirably at that.
Parker Washington. So we're going to make a list here of the top offenses, the top weapons, and we're going to put Parker Washington and Jacoby Myers on the list.
Dude, Parker Washington is like the most quality last call lay you could ask.
We're going
for
to
at
leave
2
off.
a.m.
We're going to leave off CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in favor of Parker Washington.
To be
I don't-
fair,
I see,
Brian
that's where we
Thomas,
dis-
Ju- Brian
that's where
Thomas
we
Jr. has
disagree,
been a
because I
top.
would-
He was a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy in 50% of his seasons, whereas George Pickens has only been top 5 in a quarter of his seasons. So
I've now beat it. Since you believe
Math is
that Jacoby Myers is better than George Pickens, so just put them high, put the Jags higher on the list.
the Cowboys are coming. Who else could we have after this?
There's a couple teams that I think are great.
yeah, same.
So I'm getting vetoed.
Yeah, you got vetoed, and you can't. You do have the override, but the only picks you cannot use the override on is your own picks. That is the pickle with the override.
How's the
Correct.
we have overrides now?
Yes, yeah. Chuck's got the one and only override.
Oh, I didn't know there was.
Yeah,
an
I have to
override.
use it on
That's pretty
someone
cool.
else's though. Okay, so give me, if I've got some funky business to play here, then just give me. Oh no, that would not be very fun, would it? That would be a dick move here.
You mean a Chuck move?
You know what? Give me the Steelers. Let's go with the Steelers here. You got DK Metcalf, you got Michael Pittman, you got Jeremy Bernard, you got Pat Freiermuth. We're gonna throw the Steelers on there.
See, that's the wrench I knew was coming, and I'll allow it. I love Michael Pittman, and I don't have a veto anymore anyway, so nothing I can do about it. But I think you know what? If somebody out there with a veto wanted to veto that, then that would be fine. But I'm cool with it. I Steelers ahead of Jaguars for sure. I think I have the Jaguars in my bottom like 5, right down there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I got them right in between the Raiders and the Bills
The Jaguars are one of the best passing offenses of all time.
because their quarterback and their coach are awesome, not because the players are good.
Who even is their quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence, dude, first
It's that
overall
long-haired
pick,
girl.
super long hair, fucking best player in the league, rolling to his left. Everyone knows that. That's a fact. He elevates everybody, dude. Rising tide lifts all ships. None of those. Brian Thomas Jr. was terrible last year, and I'm a fan, and I think he can bounce back. He tried to play the Mike Evans role in that offense, but he ain't Mike Evans. He ain't
Most
Mike Evans.
guys are terrible one season. It happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, dude, again, hypothetical. This whole journeyman, a bunch of question marks.
Was he terrible, or were the guys that they brought in just that good?
Yeah, they were that good. Who is that good? Who was were you
Diami
even
Brown.
starting Parker? Were people Parker Washington? You know, put him on the list.
I'm glad I saved
Diami
my
Brown got that Joshua Palmer.
You're getting
contract.
vetoed again
Came in.
right now. Do it, Brian. Do what you have to do.
I'm glad I saved that veto for something. Double veto on pick number 3. Get the Steelers out of here. What are you doing?
Michael
So
Pittman
it's
was
back
so
to-
much better than Jacoby Myers last year. It's not.
It's
even
back to me again.
He was way better. Michael Pittman is 1,000 times better than Jacoby Myers.
Mhm.
Is that not true? Am I taking crazy pills here? Michael
Yes,
Pittman.
you are.
He does
Like,
more
you
as a
think
wide
Jacoby
receiver than
Myers is
Jacoby Myers,
better
yes.
better wide receiver than Michael Pittman?
Look, whatever like the dabbed up part of this is that you're going through with the Boston sports is, I don't know if this is denial or anger or bargaining.
I want you
Somebody
guys
with
to
some
be
sort
dead
of
serious right now. Do you believe that Jacoby Myers is better in a vacuum at playing wide receiver than Michael Pittman? You all three, you believe that?
No, I do not believe that. But I believe him and Parker Washington combined are better than him.
Did you know Jacoby Myers is older than Michael Pittman? I would not have guessed that. A year older.
Pittman rules. He played through Michael Pittman with a broken back was better than Jacoby Myers.
He's been in the league 8 years, and he's had 15 starting.
Who was better? Who was better last
year?
year? Who was better last year? DK Metcalf or Brian Thomas Jr.?
Brian Thomas Jr.
I think I can get on board with that in a vacuum. Brian Thomas over DK Metcalf, but DK Metcalf has had. I mean, he's had some monster seasons too.
You guys could not have put me in a worse situation.
I don't know why I'm arguing for your pick against the other pick. Let's pick another team.
It's crazy because I have another veto save too.
Yeah, go ahead. I knew this was going to happen because we weren't vetoing the teams we should have earlier.
Okay, then let's just go with a team that I know has 3 guys that are NFL players. Let's go with the Carolina Panthers here. We got McMillan, we got Coker, we got Liggett, we got Mechie, we got David Moore, Tommy Tremble, Jatavian Sanders. All of those guys are signed up for this year.
Boys, he said Tommy Tremble. He said Tommy Tremble's name on the show.
See, had you guys not vetoed the Cowboys, I would have picked the Lions in
This is why every time they talk about World War II, it starts with the word appeasement because the Patriots shouldn't be on this list. The more we talk about these teams, the Patriots should not be on the list, but nobody stepped up, and that's a lesson to everybody. Right.
Really, the problem here is that I just don't love Jordan Addison, or that would solve a lot of issues.
See, that's the problem. That team's going to be on. That's my number 1 team. I'll tell you right now. They got to be on here.
Are you insane?
I hate Jordan. Look, I have literal personal beef with Jordan Addison based on a Sirius XM interview. He totally sandbags. But that he totally spaced on. We asked him what his walk-up song would be for baseball if he were to pick one. He's like, what's that? And we're like, when you play baseball, they play a song when you're walking up to the plate. He's like, oh. And we're like, well, what would you pick? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And we're like, well, we go pick any song. We go pick any song you would like. Yeah. And we go pick any song you like. And he goes, what would you pick? And then I totally spaced. I was like, I don't know. That was the interview. So I have beef with the player, but I mean,
the fact that he's not media trained is the least surprising part of the story.
No, I think he was like
he's
in the
not vehicle trained,
eating lunch. But that doesn't mean he can't make big plays, dude. At the weekend after the interview, he went out and scored 3 touchdowns, and they were like, "What clip do you want to play from the interview?" We were like, "None of it. There's nothing we can. We don't even want people to know he was on."
Okay, so we only have 1 veto left. Brennan, do you think I'm gonna fuck up the first overall pick, or do you use it here? Or you can actually use your own veto on your own pick. I don't know if we brought that up. It doesn't happen often, but
we're in a tight one right now.
This gets posted on Twitter. It's going to get a lot of engagement, as is.
Dude, it's so tough because it's like you said Tommy Tremble as like a case for top 3.
That's really sticking with me.
He was the 8th name I said, if I'm not mistaken.
It's true. It's true.
Way down there.
Yeah.
It's because the team's so deep.
So
there, I mean, he's scrubbing for grapes in this room.
I was going to say,
how do you guys feel about Jalen Coker? That's what it all boils down to.
Dude, a 6'3" slot guy? Are you kidding me? This could be the 2021 Buccaneers. I'm looking at him right now.
I'd bump him.
Are they better than the Titans?
Yes. Do the Titans have?
That's the litmus test. Really better than
the Titans have one guy that I would even want on my roster other than a rookie? No.
Whoa.
I'll let it slide.
Wandale, dude.
No, Calvin Ridley. Come on.
Dude, I could go down to the skate park right now and find you 50 Wandales. I don't need
Gunnar Helm truthers in fucking shambles right now.
I'm
All
good.
right.
I won't veto it. I'll let the Panthers stay.
Oh, boy. All right. Okay.
Oh,
You're
I
gonna
have
hold
you,
on to a
Brian.
veto with
I
the
have
Panthers,
you. I have you left.
but you
Well,
leave
there's
me a
only
good team
two
to
teams.
pick.
There's only 2 teams to pick from.
There's 3.
This is true.
Great.
What
Who's
other
the
name
third?
can you say here?
I have no idea how you guys could get 3. It's insane. I
yeah, like
struggled
what
with
other
that.
name can you like? There's like one other name I can kind of make the argument for, but then everyone still have their head spin. So it's like,
I mean,
The
if
third
I
team
don't
should
know
probably
ways
be
you could
about
go with it.
6.
Put the Colts in there, dude.
No, not that.
nah.
I had the
Honestly,
Colts
I'll
like
let-
15 or 16.
That's
I'll
where
let
I've got
Chuck
him
leave his
too.
mark. Chuck leaves his mark with the Panthers.
He does it every
this
time. I
This
guess.
is my Lamar Miller.
This is his Lamar Miller, exactly.
Well, Brennan, give us that number 2 then. Who you
I'm gonna
picking?
pick the Cowboys. I'm gonna have them be on there. They're top 2. There were 2 for me, so I'll let them. This is exactly where they go for my list. So argue away with all you want. We've already did this case for them, but
4.
I just wanted to see what Brian picks at 1. That's really why.
Should have been 4.
Should have been. But then again, the Panthers shouldn't be on the list. So, we just threw out all rules out the window.
You could make an argument that the Panthers could be on the list over the Patriots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could do
You
that.
could-
I can get behind that.
We did, so too bad.
You could make the Panthers over like the Bucks if you really want to go down that route too.
We're hot. We're hot right now.
Jaguars don't look that bad after all.
I know.
God.
Shut the fuck up. Well, just in comparison to the Panthers, I mean, it's like these cat teams are kind of none of them deserve to be on the list. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got like 4 teams that I think should be on this list still that aren't going to go. Like the Eagles were up in my top tier. So obviously, yes, pulling AJ Brown, they've kind of removed themselves. I feel like they could be on this list, but it's where they fall.
We haven't been giving much credit to rookies so far.
That's the hard thing too. Is
I think that's where you have to. My Kyle Emmett has to carry a lot of weight to put him in there.
Part of me really wants to put the Jags up here. I had them in my top 3. It's the depth, man. It's the
Dude,
depth.
I had them at 6 or no
Dude,
7.
I'm cool with 6. I just think they should be on this freaking list.
I rarely
I
get
like
2 picks in the top 3, so this is nice.
I am at 28.
Remember 45 minutes ago when I said, maybe the Texans, maybe this is the point of the draft where we should be balancing shit.
Yeah. But the Texans better weapons than the Jags. Jags don't got no Nico Collins.
I think that if you took all the players in the Jags and you said, I've seen this guy at his best, or this is that guy's best, this is this guy's best, this is that guy's best, I think they probably have the highest floor of any offense.
I'd agree.
I mean, we just always ignore like the player says he's going to play both sides. The head coach says he's going to play both sides. The GM said he's going to play both sides. We just still are like, yeah, we'll take.
We're
Washington
living in
over.
a world where every player on the Jags offense gets to play the Parker Washington role, which is not. Brian Thomas Jr.'s role is different now, and he sucks at it. And Jacoby Myers just a guy. Brenton Strange.
Who didn't like some
Nate-
strange?
Every
Nate
single
Borchert.
player,
Tight end too.
every single player in this offense is in the Cooper Cup 2021 role, and will perform.
Let me make it easy. Let me make this abundantly easy for everyone. Justin Jefferson is better than Brian Thomas Jr. Jordan Addison's better than Jacoby Myers.
I'm going to clip that right there. Look at
Clip
you.
it, yeah. Jordan Addison's better than Jacoby
Speaking
Myers
up for Jordan
in
there.
every way.
Um,
My best friend, Jordan Addison. Juwan Jennings is better than Parker Washington. That's a fact. TJ Hawkinson.
Better than Travis Hunter. though.
I'm going to hard disagree with the Addison and the Jennings on that one.
Addison. You think Jacoby Myers is better than Jordan Addison?
I think that they're same tier.
Well, then it boils down to Justin Jefferson versus Brian Thomas Jr.
Well, then you got to do Justin Jefferson versus Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr. and Brenton Strange, and then you do Travis Hunter versus T.J. Hawkinson, and we're good to go. We're out of here. Let's get lunch.
Damn.
Travis Hunter versus why are we doing cornerbacks versus tight ends? It's Brenton Strange versus.
And we have one team that we didn't even get
Play.
brought up today. They went out of their way to trade a first-round pick to make this receiving core better. They've got depth. They've got like 6 wide receiver 3s. They've got the ghost of Evan Ingram there. Like
No.
Jalen Waddle's one of my favorite wide receivers of all time of current current what we're working with, man. So like it's upset. I had Denver at 6, so it hurts me that they're not going to get picked on this list.
If Troy Franklin is your wide receiver 4, you're looking good.
Once I got the Patriots and Bucks in there, Denver was the first team I moved down, and that was one of the ones that made me chuckle. I was like, good.
All right, well, let's go Vikings here. I want to make Brennen use his last veto, but we're just going to go ahead and skip that point. Let's go Vikings. I mean, they just recently added Juwan Jennings. They finally have a third wide receiver. You've got Hawkinson, who was good at one point. Some people told me, fantasy, it hasn't really been there. But let's see what Kyler can make some magic up there with KOC.
Yeah.
I think that Juwan Jennings is going to join a long, storied list of guys that don't exist outside of San Francisco.
Override it, dude.
I don't have any.
Somebody would have to veto. He would override the veto.
Yeah,
Somebody dropped the veto on it. So
which
Brennen, you could veto
right
it
now, but I wouldn't override it.
I just don't know what you put next, and that's just a scary thought of like I don't know what comes next. It's like Justin Jefferson's like he's a great receiver, so you can just like leave it there, and I guess it's okay. We've already fumbled that.
Panthers are on there, brother. It's already not okay.
You veto on putting the Colts up there.
I know you do. So that's why I'm not going to veto it.
I'll take my ball and I'll go home.
Exactly.
So nobody likes Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk, Brandon Ayuk, technically, George Kittle. Jake
They were in the
Thompson.
same tier with the Jets, Colts, and the Saints.
Yeah,
The technicality of Brandon Ayuk is actually very interesting.
This is true.
powerful.
He didn't post videos of him working out, but he did post a bunch of really nice watches this week. So he's
You could also put him on Washington and do Terry and him and Antonio and Chig, although that's also really bad.
The mistake was allowing the Patriots to have A.J. Brown when he's not on the team.
This is true. But, I mean, that means the Eagles would have popped up here, probably number 1 or number 2.
Eagles should be on May 12th. The Eagles should be number 1, probably.
Yeah, this is true. Then that's fine. I'll wait 3 weeks to drop this.
Yeah.
We'll make it accurate then.
Perfect.
So the conclusion of this list, starting at 13, we've got the Patriots, Bucks, Packers. Starting at 10, we've got Texans, Chargers, Bengals, Cardinals, Bears, and then our top 5, we have Rams, Lions, Panthers, Cowboys, and Vikings to round out the top 5. That's not bad. Not bad. We had 1 veto remaining, so we can go completely scorched earth, even though it probably should have been used again at 3. Chuck would have made a record here on the show, another historic moment for the pod. 4 picks on 1 pick. It would have been crazy.
Yeah, which is a shame because all of them were good, and yet none of them were respected. It's okay.
They were fine.
It's fine.
Was Martin Luther King respected during his time? No.
If you allowed me to put the Cowboys at 4, none of this would have happened.
He's got a good point. Instead, he went to bat for Jordan Addison, who's not even top 20 in any efficiency category on Player Profile.
It's not about efficiency. It's about swagger.
He's efficient in other things.
The guy who doesn't know what a walk-up song is your swagger pick.
He would figure it out. They would pick his agent would pick it. But he was last year 900 yards and 10 touchdowns. Star. This guy, all this dude does is score touchdowns. Bro.
You got to admire him, though. He's punctual. He goes as fast as he possibly can to go anywhere. He's even so worried about being late to an a flight on the airplane. He parks there the night before. That's a prioritizing man.
Posting the mimosa the day after getting a DUI. I mean, that's a chef's kiss, bro.
That's my job. That's really lame for him to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he's been kind of going downhill a little bit, but still.
Dude, he literally posted. Oh, no, never mind. I take that back. That's an old post. Twitter, search engine. You're always great, aren't you?
Well, fellas, I mean, we can't thank you enough for coming in here, helping us get this figured out. Obviously, we couldn't just bring in one of you. We needed both of you to make sure this got ironed out well. Coop, people looking for more of you, where can they find you?
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Coupe Fiasco. I share everything I post over there. Most of that stuff's on Fantasy Alarm, YouTube, and the website, and also SiriusXM, Channel 87, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time is when our show is.
Chuck, what about you?
Chuck F. Bass on Twitter. I'm also on Cameo now. Back. I was off Cameo for a little bit. I'm back on for only $69. I will do literally anything. Their terms of service are very, very loose, so we can have some fun with there. But otherwise, catch me over at Player Profiler.
Yeah, all the conjugal visits you want. Chuck's your guy. Brennan, you got anything else for the people?
I got nothing else, man.
We got nothing else for you, folks. We're getting out of here. We're shutting it down. Again, guys, can't thank you enough. This was great. We're going to have to do something like this again here soon. Folks, it's everywhere. It's Too Much Fantasy Football, whether you're on YouTube, liking, subscribing, or on the podcast. We appreciate you listening. We're going to get out of here. Shutting it down. Time to go.
Go Jags.
Yeah, Jags got robbed.